Okay, so our grammar lesson today is the present perfect continuous. We're gonna know the difference between the present perfect continuous and the present perfect simple, when to use the present perfect continuous and when to use the present perfect simple, and then we're gonna answer some exercises. Okay, so let's start. We use the present perfect continuous for an activity that has recently stopped or just stopped. For example, the alarm has been ringing since 8 o'clock in the morning. It's been ringing since 8 o'clock and it has just stopped. Okay, and we use it to talk about an action which started in the past and continues up to the present. For example, Sam has been playing the piano. It started in the past since he was 4, okay? So it started in the past and it continues up to the present. Number 3, we use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action that's finished but its effect or result is clear. The action is finished, but the effect is clear. The result is clear. She's out of breath. She has been running. What is the result or the effect of running? She's out of breath. Okay, so we have the form, the affirmative, the negative, and the interrogative. Okay, the affirmative, the sentence is gonna start with the subject and then has or have plus pen plus verb ing. So if the subject is I, we, you, or they, you're gonna use have plus pen plus verb ing. And of course, if the subject is he or she or it, you're gonna use has plus pen plus verb ing. For example, it has been raining all day. The subject is it, so we're gonna use has and then been and the verb rain plus ing. Example number 2, they have been studying English for 5 years. The subject here is they, so we're gonna use have and then put been plus the verb study plus ing. Very, very easy. Okay, now with the negative and the interrogative. The negative, we're gonna start the sentence with the subject, has or have. That's what we've learned. But here we're gonna add not. So it's gonna be subject plus has or have plus not plus been plus verb ing. So, for example, if the sentence is our team has been doing well lately, the negative would be our team hasn't been doing well lately. Okay. Okay, now with the interrogative, you're gonna start the sentence with has or have, or the WH word plus has or have, and then subject, been, verb ing. Okay, if the subject here is I or we or you or they, you're gonna start with have. And of course, if the subject is he or she or it, you're gonna start the question with has. Okay, so it's have plus I, we, you, they, and then been plus verb ing, or has plus he, she, it plus been plus verb ing. An example, have you been waiting for too long? So here we start with have because the subject is you, and then we're going to add been plus the verb wait plus ing. It's a very easy lesson. Okay, now the tricky part and the most important part of our lesson. Present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. When to use the present perfect simple and when to use the present perfect continuous. This part is so tricky because you're gonna get confused. Okay, we use both present perfect simple and present perfect continuous to talk about past actions or states which are still connected to the present. So both of them are used to talk about actions that happened in the past and are still connected to the present. Okay, and then the present perfect simple usually focuses on the result. The present perfect simple focuses on the result of the activity, but the present perfect continuous focuses on the activity itself. Okay. Now, the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous we're going to start with the present perfect simple. It focuses on the result of the activity. Okay, you have cleaned the bathroom. It looks lovely. So the result here that it looks lovely. Present perfect continuous focuses on the activity itself. I've been gardening. It's so nice out there. Okay, the present perfect simple says how many. She has read 10 books this summer. So here we know how many books have she read. Okay, she has read 10 books this summer. Now the present perfect continuous says how long. Okay, it's concerned more about the time. She's been reading that book all day. So here I didn't mention the number of the books, but I mentioned the time, the span of time. The present perfect simple describes a completed action. I have written you an email. But the present perfect continuous describes an activity which may continue. For example, I've been writing emails. Okay. Present perfect continuous, we use it when we can see evidence of a recent activity.